Hi everyone, thank you for joining me. So today we're going to talk about the ancient mother of the Israelites. Let's talk about Sarah. In the biblical stories, we have four ancient mothers of the Israelites: Sarah, Rebecca, Leah, and Rachel. Sarah, the earliest mother, doesn't say much, but researchers today are reobserving her character as one that has very ancient origins. Researchers today think that maybe the origins of the character of Sarah are in a very early mother, a matriarch, that was the early mother of the northern tribes of Israel. Her name, Sarah, in Hebrew, implies to someone that is almost a queen, someone that you respect, a leader. And Sarah was also a way to address or approach ancient goddesses such as Asherah, Astaroth, and also Inanna Ishtar. Those goddesses, like Sarah, were known for their divine beauty. Sarah is considered to be very beautiful regardless her age, because in the biblical stories she reaches the age of over 100 years. We know that they were so beautiful that we actually find an archaeological motif of the woman in the window. It is usually the frame of a window in which you can see the face of a goddess, usually a love goddess or a fertility goddess. That beauty and sexuality were connected to those characters. We see this with Astaroth and Ishtar and also Hathor in Egypt. We also known as the throne of Astaroth. It is something that we find in many temples. And those thrones had motifs of lions and eagles and sometimes lamassu, very ancient winged creatures that symbolized protection. And the goddess in the temples was invited to sit on those thrones. Sometimes you also found thrones like this in palaces of kings and queens. Many of the times no one sat on them. They were there to symbolize the presence of the goddess and the fact that we invite her to sit among the kings and the queens as Sarah. In the biblical stories, Abraham refers to Sarah as my sister. Now, they weren't brothers and sisters. Obviously, they are known to be husband and wife. But approaching someone as sister or brother was something that the gods did. In the divine stories, we see that they called each other brother or sister as a sign of respect. And in the biblical stories, when they meet different kings, such as the king of Egypt, usually Sarah finds herself in the palace. These are stories that today make us feel a little bit uncomfortable and got many interpretations throughout the years. But if Sarah was really a queen, an early leader, then it only makes sense that she will be the one meeting the king, negotiating about the tribe that is following her, because she was in the status to do so. They said that the early mothers were sometimes beautiful as cows or lambs or sheep. It sounds a bit weird to us, but we need to understand that in early times, the sheep and the cows were a symbol of fertility, great richness, and beauty. It allowed you to keep on existing, especially if they originated from the land. We know that Hathor was sometimes being seen as a cow. Same with Hera in Greek mythology, because it was a sign of respect. And all of the ancient mothers has something to do either with cows or sheep as a symbol of respect and great beauty. In the biblical stories, Sarah doesn't say much. None of the mothers do. When they started to edit those stories, they took a lot of local legacies, but also the women don't say much, because we are now progressing into monotheism, when the control over religion is transferring to the hands of men only. But I would like to hear from you where you meet Sarah and all of our mothers that maybe have a lot to teach us, so much more than what we can find in the pages of the biblical stories about our origins, how women led their people, originated from legendary figures such as goddesses and queens. And hopefully, maybe one day, we will find more stories that will teach us so much more than what we can find in those stories. And maybe one day we can even find the words of Sarah. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.